Camille is saying, how long does it normally take to receive document qualified from the NVC? How do we know the normal time for our specific consulate? We'll be making our interview. My case consulate is Mexico City. Mike, lots of questions today about DQ and getting the consulate interview.
Yeah, and you can fix my answer if it's wrong. But the last I checked, Chris told me, Chris is Anshu's boss, and he told me all the hard questions. I could just push to Anshu. Brilliant.
That's your methodology, Mike.
Yeah. But as I understand it, it's taken about 3 to 4 months to get DQ'd in most cases. Mexico City, there was just a report recently about that they were backlogged over a year in interviews. I'm assuming that data combined all types of interviews, family interviews, employment-based, etc. I don't personally have anyone that I'm aware of who's gone through Mexico City as an RN recently, so I do not know whether the RN process, the expedite for RNs as a healthcare worker is faster than a year, but I would assume so. Anshu, do you have anyone that's gone through Mexico City recently?
No, I have not.
You see, Mike, you got a critique from Anshu, and you seem to have done okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's good.
Perfect job. But I would like to add one thing, and it's not necessarily anything that Mike has said, but I know a lot of you are seeing issues with even with the case being shipped from the USCIS to NVC, or getting the fee bill issued, or getting DQ'd, or getting the interview. One of the other things that we are seeing in our office is just dealing with the SEAC portal, which is also causing some delays. And the SEAC portal is basically the portal that accepts the fee bill payment. It allows us to upload the documents, the civil documents, and we are seeing that there are delays in that. Like in our office, individuals would pay the fee bill, and then it would show that it's in process. And then weeks later, it's still in process. And then it gets rejected. And another thing that we're seeing is that, an individual submits their DS-260. It gets accepted. And then weeks or months later, they get a letter that's saying that a deficiency notice from the NVC saying that the DS-260 was never submitted. And so we started compiling all of these issues in our office, and we actually sent the Department of State just a memo on this, because this part of it is also causing a delay, and which kind of affects everything else in a way. So I wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, thank you for adding that, Anshu, because that is something that we're seeing as well across the board, where there are some delays and some anomalies. Like, we have a question here from Jomi. How long does the NVC usually take to process the fee bill? I've been waiting and waiting. So lots of questions like Jomi, where we would typically see a very different time frame, and there are very unusual delays that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. But I do want to make sure everyone understands that, like, the Department of State is aware of this. They are working with us on this. We've also reached out to AILA, which is the American Immigration Lawyers Association. They have liaisons that also work at the Department of State. So we're trying, and also the AAIHR, which is an organization that also works with the Department of State on these issues. So we're trying to work through different channels to address all these issues, because, obviously they're causing delays, and they seem to be just technical delays, So I did want to mention that.
Yeah, no, thank you for mentioning that, because Kinetics are also members of the AAIHR, and in addition to that, we also, as I mentioned earlier, we work with a lot of government affairs departments at the various healthcare facilities as well. So if you are experiencing one of these, I would say, kind of more unusual delays that we're seeing currently, there's a lot of efforts in the United States to make sure that these are rectified, and working through lots of channels here to try and solve this problem.